I think too, a lot of the issue with the generation is that most of them see marriage as the end all be all, and you give up rights to your life and to yourself, and you give up all of your freedoms. And it's this really toxic mentality, because it's brainwashing us to believe that once you spiritually bind to someone, you no longer have autonomy, you no longer have this sense of freedom that you ever so desire. But I think it's opposite, because you can find freedom in your responsibilities. And a lot of women find freedom in the role of being a mom, and a lot of men find freedom in their role of being a provider. Being a mom doesn't have to be your destiny. Even getting married doesn't have to be your destiny, because you're not defined by your relationship status. Your femininity is not defined by whether you have a masculine partner or not. But it's this toxic mentality of what I notice, mostly men who say, I don't want to lose my freedom. I don't want to be in relationship because I don't want to lose my freedom. Babe, what? Freedom to you is coming home to an empty house each and every day after a long, hard day at work and having no one there to eat a meal with or to connect to? Freedom to you is scrolling through Netflix or scrolling through social media, trying to get that dopamine hit and trying to find someone online across the world that you can relate to. That's freedom, a distraction to yourself because you have no one there at home for you. Freedom to you is going out for a McDonald's cheeseburger when you have steak at home. That's freedom to you. Freedom to you is lusting from one girl to another girl to another girl to another girl rather than having your 5-star meal at home. That's not freedom. Come on now, that is not freedom. Freedom to you means that all the trips and traveling that you do and that you plan out for yourself, when you take these trips and go on vacation by yourself, have no one there to share that experience with you, that's freedom? I'm done. Goodbye. That's comfortable. That's not freedom. I have so many friends who, it just breaks my heart for them because they really desire, the marriage and family unit, to have children of their own, and they're struggling in even finding that, or even having the ability to create this reality where they actually see their future with a family and children. That actually breaks my heart. That's freedom to them. They feel entrapped by their current reality. It's so twisted. And for the men, if you keep attracting women who are quote unquote controlling, then you need to do some self-reflecting as to why you keep attracting women who are manipulating and controlling you, and why you're allowing that. I follow this dating and relationship creator, and he said that whenever he married his wife, during exchanging their vows, they said, when they put the ring on each other, they said, with this ring, I set you free. And that is just so beautiful to me. That is just so beautiful, and honestly so unheard of, to manifest that reality that as you become one, you're actually becoming more free. You're actually dwelling in more of your freedoms to grow, to love, to learn more about the inner workings of who you are, to learn to be more selfless, to be more responsible for someone else's emotional states, to learn to be more supportive towards your partner. And I just thought that was so beautiful. With this ring, I set you free. And this should be way more heard of in the marriage ceremonies, because instead we've adapted the mindset that when you make those vows, all of a sudden you become entrapped. And this is so toxic. And I get it, because I actually grew up with hearing a lot of that from my parents who did not end up staying together. I heard a lot of those toxic mindsets from from the aftermath of a broken marriage. And it really maimed me, and obviously created a lot of the limiting beliefs that I had for myself earlier on in life. But now, like, I've completely shifted my whole perspective on it, and I'm so grateful that I did, because like I said, I have friends who are just longing and yearning for, their life to be in the marriage and family unit. And it just truly breaks my heart that they're not able to, they don't feel like they can really attain that. And it hurts me even more when it's actually one of my lady friends, because us women, we have that biological clock. Guys who say it too, it's a little bit more lenient on them, just because they really can reproduce until the day that they die. But for the women who are really struggling, it's just really, really gut-wrenching. And obviously this is not to be said to settle for some couch potato guy who doesn't even have the motivation to fulfill his role as a provider and a protector. Because unfortunately, it's a very real crisis that masculinity is, it's become fragile and weakened, and there's almost no masculinity to be accounted for left in this world. And that's why I will keep spreading my message on here so strongly, because my heart and my prayers go out to those who, rather than feeling trapped by their families, they feel trapped by their lifestyle of having an empty nest and having no one to eat a meal with or to connect to. Because that's the real trap, when we were born to connect and to relate and work to live, rather than what we're doing now and living to work. Anyways, I don't know the point of this, but maybe it's that freedom ain't what you think it is. Freedom is having someone at home that knows the things that make you tick, all your triggers and your truths, sees you emotionally naked, and still loves you in spite of that. That is the real freedom.